O'Hanlon Center for the Arts. O'Hanlon Center for the Arts is a community of individuals who come together to share and celebrate the creative process through meditation, music, writing, performance, and visual arts. The open-ended O'Hanlon approach emphasizes the random, organic nature of art and its continuously delightful and forward-moving process. Critiques focus on what's there in an artwork rather than what's not there. Co-founder Anne O'Hanlon's quote hanging on the wall near the fireplace pretty much sums it up. "You are not making a picture, you are having an experience." In its natural setting in Cascade Canyon, we unplug and open our minds for spontaneous exploration or engage in lively exchange. Either through classes or during the monthly Artists' Roundtable dialogue that provides an opportunity for artists and friends of the arts to discuss ideas, inspirations, and processes. O'Hanlon Center for the Arts is a peaceful retreat, a gathering place for the mainstream and offbeat among us, a welcoming place for people of all ages. We are grateful to those who have made this unique treasure possible and who continue to support its nurturing environment. O'Hanlon Center for the Arts. Gage Schubert. It takes a community of volunteers to create a community that serves a community of people. Gage Schubert is such a volunteer, one in a million. The Mountain Play, West Point Inn, and the Fall Arts Festival are only 3 of the many Mill Valley organizations who have benefited from his strong support, physical labor, brain power, and caring heart. Gage always preferred to work diligently behind the scenes in a supportive role, identifying bottlenecks and resolving problems. He came prepared for the task at hand and could always be counted upon. There were many long and demanding days, but there was also a rewarding feeling of deep satisfaction for a job well done. Gage is the perfect amalgamation of all the people an arts organization needs: the board member, the project supervisor, the financial angel. He understands what the arts are up against. He loves the creative part and the solving problems part, and he understands the administrative challenges. People like Gage, particularly Gage, make an effort to see that a resource, such as Mount Tamalpais, is there for everyone. He never took anything out of his involvement, never drew attention to himself. He'd be there helping with his gray hair and amiable personality. And it's pretty hard to be self-effacing when you're 6'6". Although Gage no longer flips burgers or digs ditches, he continues to nourish the arts through his ongoing philanthropy. His contributions give us a stronger sense of community which benefits the cultural diversity and vitality of this very special place we call home. Gage Schubert. Scott Matthews. When you meet Scott Matthews, you say to yourself, "I have met a creative person." When you bring Scott into a project as a producer or collaborator, you have achieved a substantial coup, for Scott brings dedication and professionalism with him. In all creative endeavors, Scott stays at the heart by keeping his ear on every aspect of the music while assuring that the end result is on time, on budget, and in his words, above and beyond what the artist ever knew he or she could do. Having worked with everyone from the Beach Boys to John Lee Hooker to Tiny Tim during his 40-year career, Scott has had plenty of performing highs, but he has the generosity, talent, and drive to put others in front. Reliable and resourceful, he always follows through on his promises. He's blessed with a big personality, a fun-loving sense of humor, and an enthusiasm about his work and Mill Valley that is infectious and uplifting. He's a practical joker and a great gossip. He knows about all kinds of music and loves to talk about it. Music is his life. He's not in it to save the world or impress the world. He's doing what he loves to do. Scott Matthews. Joyce Maynard. Joyce Maynard's literary output is prolific. She has more than fulfilled the promise of At Home in the World, her honest, wise, heartbreaking, and inspiring memoir, and become one of our most daring and consistently engaging novelists. Hers is a body of work to cherish, a career to envy, a life of achievement to celebrate. Much of the world knows that Joyce possesses these gifts. Only her lucky students know that one of her greatest gifts is her ability to draw from each their best work and inspire them to strive for their true potential. Her instructions for making a pie are remarkably like her recipe for writing. Work with simple ingredients that you know well. Don't be afraid to get your hands dirty. Perfection is a trap. Better to start with a mess and then improve it as much as you can. If you discover an embarrassing hole in your work, steal a little something from someone else and plop it down on top. Lead with your instinct rather than with what you think you should know. Joyce's students, emboldened by her faith in them, learn courage to declare their stories and to make a beautiful, delicate, crumbly pie crust. Her readers find as great rewards in her strong, clear, and insightful prose. Joyce Maynard. Murphy Productions. Having Irma Murphy and Daniel Patrick as your production and public relations team is like having Rodgers and Hammerstein write a musical for you. And beyond the excellence of their staged events, the goal of this creative duo is the growth and encouragement of a supportive, caring community. Whether representing a large organization or a single artist, Murphy Productions gives the same level of dedicated service, bringing an impressive array of skills, talents, and personal qualities to their work, and putting their whole hearts into everything they do. With unflagging optimism, they deal beautifully with adversity. Every time they're faced with an obstruction, such as losing a performance venue they have built from scratch, they forge on to do something better. Daniel is the visionary, abstract thinker, Irma the dynamic problem solver. Murphy Productions is a team, no matter whose foot steps forward first. They love what they do. It gives them joy. Just look around the next time you're at a Murphy Productions event, and you'll see them dancing. Murphy Productions. Christopher Raker. Christopher Raker's creative ability and deep understanding of our community's values are evident in the many projects in Mill Valley that bear his name as architect. For more than 3 decades, he has given generously of his time, efforts, and talents as an incisive, big-picture thinker working to preserve and enhance Mill Valley's small-town character. Design is something of a mystery. It is important to approach it not with a solution, but with willingness to listen deeply. He enters each consultation with an open mind, trying to figure out the best solution for the project. His designs are practical, handsome, and down-to-earth, not showy and extravagant. As a city council member and mayor, he worked hard on a policy and regulatory level. He asked penetrating questions and encouraged people to think about issues from different perspectives. He took his time, wanting to be sure everything had been considered. Despite controversy and opposition, he persevered, striving for balance. And the value of his approach has been proven many times over. Our community is indeed the beneficiary of Christopher Raker's vision and his willingness to be involved in making Mill Valley a better place to live for all of us. Christopher Raker. Mort Saul. The revolutionary political satirist Mort Saul defied all convention when he kicked down the stage door of polite stand-up comedy in 1953. Well-informed, opinionated, and fearless, Saul stood for things. He never shied away from taking unpopular stands, and took a lot of flack for it. Mort, the comic godfather of Jon Stewart, Stephen Colbert, Bill Maher, and others who lack his scope, bite, or satirical bullseyes, was the first comedian to be featured on the cover of Time magazine. His pal Robin Williams found Mort inspirational and his comedy insanely brilliant. "It's incredible to hang out with Mort," Robin said. "He's got great stories that go on for days." 60 years into his career and still performing, Mort Saul ranks among the best comedians and satirists of our time. He stands alone on the summit of political humor. Mort Saul.